Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So last time we left with the research and development mission that we had left to do, so let us do that right now. Let's click. There we go.
You're doing a great job out there. The Lords of Order, Project Cadmus, and Magnus Robotics have stepped up to offer a hand. Why don't you go chat with Will Magnus in the tech wing? He's one of the premier tech minds of this generation, and definitely the go-to guy to learn about research and development.
So our friend Will Magnus is right here in the tech wing of the Watchtower, so let's talk to him.
Hello. Did Oracle send you to talk to me? Well, if she thinks you're ready to start working on some R&D, who am I to argue? Oh, yes. Who am I indeed? I'm Dr. William Magnus of Magnus Robotics. The JLA has asked me to take some of the new researchers under my wing, so here I am. The Lords of Order and Project Cadmus are here as well. For proper research, you'll need plans and the components detailed within them. You can find these on missions or from R&D vendors. You'll use that device over there to complete your projects. Here, take these items. They should help you get started.
So if we go back to our journal, so when we complete the mission, we'll get a plan for a solar quarter and some exo materials. So let us consume the plan. For the exo material, you get to use it when you actually do some crafting. So here you have the crafting station. It is something that everyone can use. You can have a crafting station near your base. I'm sure if you saw some of my previous videos, you saw me use it in the past. Although I'll show it to you in just a minute also. I will switch to my multiverse character to be able to show you a whole bunch of plans. So you have the crafting station here. You have the researcher Reichert. Sorry, I missed that.
What can I help you with?
So your friend, the researcher Reichert, has a whole bunch of plans to sell you if you want to. So you can get plans from this little guy here. Also, you can get plans as you play missions. Some missions will drop some plans at random. You could get some of those plans from the broker. And at first, what you can craft is a whole bunch of exobytes. Basically, when you get your exo material, you have your exo material. Whenever you get some exobytes, usually you get exobytes when you salvage some gear. So you could upgrade some of those exobytes using some exo materials. And when you upgrade them, the exobytes will give you a little bit more experience. The exobytes are used to be able to upgrade your augments. We don't have any just yet, but again, I'll switch to my multiverse in just a minute. And here you have a little robot here that can sell you a whole bunch of crafting material if you need to. And normally, when you look at a plan, it will show you the materials or the components you need to be able to do the crafting. In some cases, it will be materials or items that our little friend here is actually selling. Decisions. Should I get the Gotham Knight back piece? Why not? Why not? There we go. So let us go back to our lair for just a minute. That's better. So if we go to our lair, so we have a crafting station here in my lair. There's also a crafting station you can get from the marketplace. It's a portable workstation that you can carry with you anywhere. So if you have the portable workstation, you can do your crafting anywhere you like. And you can also have a crafting station in your lair if you want to. So now let us switch to our friend Multiverse and I'll be able to show you a whole bunch of plans. Usually, depending on the type of lair you have, the crafting station will be a little bit different. So in your crafting station, you have various tabs. So you have the assembly tab, you have the archives tab. At some point, you will have a lot of plans that you no longer really need to use. And there's also a salvaging tab. Let's see if we have a piece of gear. There we go. I found a few pieces of gear I could salvage. So if we go into our salvage tab, you will see there's various pieces of gear you should be able to salvage at some point. The gear has to be level 30, and there's also some vendor gear that sometimes you cannot salvage. But overall, whenever there's a piece of gear you don't really need, you You could either sell it or you could salvage it for some components. Like if we go back to our exobytes, basically the way to be able to get some of those exobytes is to salvage some of your gear. So let us do that. So there we go, give us a big exobyte, another one, and one more. So depending on the level of your gear, it will give you some higher level or lower level exobytes. So in this case here, I pretty much got a whole bunch of solid MK15 exobytes. And it's exobytes I can use to be able to upgrade my augments. I'll show them to you in just a minute. So here you can see I could take some flawed MK15 exobytes and I could turn it into a solid MK15 exobyte. So if I turn it into a solid MK15 exobyte, it will give me 43,250 experience. So let us do that. So I had to use some exo materials to be able to do that. Sometimes there's a bit of lag in the menu. It's sad, but it happens. So right now we could take our solid MK15 exobyte and turn it into a pristine MK15 exobyte, which would give us over 51,000 experience. Again, it will cost us 5 exo material to do that, so let us do that. So then once we have those exobytes, what we can do is that we can go into our Fortify tab. So as you can see, we have a whole bunch of augments. I've pretty much maximized my vital augments. But there's also my mighty augments I could upgrade from my DPS armory. I also have an armory that uses a weapon mastery, so I could upgrade my precise augment for that. I could even upgrade my dominating augments if I wanted to. So normally what I do is that once I maxed my vital augments, then I'll start upgrading my mighty augments. Once my mighty augments are upgraded to the maximum, then I'll start upgrading my precise augments. And then I'll do the same with the dominating augments. In this case, this is a controller type character. A restoration, not really useful for a controller. Although I could decide to upgrade them if I planned at some point maybe to change my character to a healer. Then I would have to start upgrading my restoring augments. So let us upgrade our pristine metagene. So you can see this is all the augments we were able to get. So let's fortify. And if we go back to the station, so you can see there's an archive tab. At some point you end up with a lot of plans. And there's a lot of plans that you don't really need to use. Also, way back when, we had a lot of plans that would come from a time capsule. A time capsule no longer drops plans, but for a while we would get plans with those time capsule. So here you can see we could craft various enhanced emblems. We could craft like the enhanced Shimtar gear. So we would get the way back when we would get the regular version of the Shimtar gear from the time capsule, and then we had to craft the enhanced version of the gear if we wanted to. The same with the emblems. So at some point you end up with a whole bunch of plans that you don't really need anymore. And also there's a whole bunch of low-level plans that you don't really need at some point. Like basically when you're tier 1, you get a whole bunch of supplies 1 plans. At some point once you reach tier 2, you'll get a whole bunch of supplies 2 plans, and so on. So you can accumulate a lot of plans as time goes by in this Universe Online. And it got even worse there recently. Let me show you the current plans. So here we have all the exobytes we can craft. I should probably archive some of those. Oh well. So here we have some of the plans we got with the Long Live the Legion DLC. And here we got, I didn't get many plans just yet in Worlds of Flashpoint, but as time goes by, I would get more and more plans, and eventually I would end up with a whole bunch of plans. And in the long term, I'll put all my Legion plans in the archives, and I'll pretty much only use the World of Flashpoint plans. Although I have to admit, I haven't done a lot of crafting in quite a while. And as I mentioned, sadly sometimes there is a bit of lag in the menu. It's sad, but it happens. Also, I was trying to show you all the plans, but you can minimize the tabs if you need to. There you go. And I'm not sure why the menu is going nuts on me. Let's try that again. So let's minimize that. Let's minimize that. There we go. And these days, they give us a whole bunch of new plans in the World of Flashpoint DLC to be able to craft our mods. In the past, we would purchase the supply, we would purchase the 40.4 mods from one of the vendors. And they decided to change that and make it into, turn it into crafting. So we have a whole bunch of crafting we can do if we wanted to. So let's craft a little box here. Let's craft a little box here. So basically we can craft little boxes that will give us some more mods that will allow us to do even more crafting. So we got little boxes like this one, so let's open it. And in this case I will choose a Vitalization, so you could choose the mods you want. You could choose Dominance, Restoration, or Vitalization. If you're a tank, I would normally go with Dominance unless you play maybe a fire tank. Restoration would be for the healer, and Vitalization would be for the controller. So again, let's do that. And here's the other box. In this case, we're gonna have to choose between health and power. In this case, again, I use a power. And if we go back to our station, this may allow us to be able to craft even more thingy. So there we go. So we got a new mod, a new Vitalization 40.1 mod, which would allow us to craft another little box. So let us do that. So if we go back again to our inventory, so our little blue box will give us, again, either a Dominance, Restoration, or Vitalization mod, but in case a 40.2 mod. It's a bit convoluted, sadly, but basically what you have to do is that when you play the game, you will get a whole bunch of 40.0 mod. So you're gonna have to take those 40.0 mod and turn them into 40.1 mod using the plans. Then once you have a whole bunch of 40.1 mod, you will have to turn those into 40.2 mods. And then once you have a whole bunch of 40.2 mods, you will have to turn them into 40.3 mods. And at long last, once you have a whole bunch of 40.3 mods, then you will be able to craft some 40.4 mods. So in the end, you will need something like 120 40.0 mod to craft one 40.4 mod. And you're going to need four, let's say 4 Vitalization 40.4. You'll need, let's say 4 Might 40.4. And you'll need 4 Power 40.4. So you are going to need a lot of mods in order to be able to craft all the 40.4 mods that you'll need. It's sad, but that's how it is. Personally, we barely just started getting this system, and I have to admit I'm already exhausted by it. And also it takes a whole bunch of room in your inventory because you have to gather a whole bunch of different mods in order to be able to do your crafting. So this pretty much covers research and development. So the next time we will play the World of Tomorrow. So we'll go see our friend Zatanna in the Chinatown safe house. So sadly the crafting is a bit convoluted in DCUO, but I hope this made some sort of sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I have roughly 2,000 videos about this Universe Online at this point, so if I don't answer your question right away, just search in my videos. Odds are I already made a video that answers your question. Or click one of the videos that you see on your screen right now. Bye-bye.